Hi, everybody. Welcome and welcome back. My name is Kimiko Sumi, and today I'm here to do a talking video about what something that my mother used to tell me a long time ago, years ago, when I was growing up. Because when I was I think by the time I hit my teenage years, I just started to say that I just really didn't like people. I don't really want to say the word that I really describe more. It's a lot more than just disliking or not liking people. It's a word for it, but I'm not going to use that word. Now, my mother, she used to say, Kimiko, you sound like a scorned lover. You sound like somebody that's been in an abusive marriage, or you're bitter towards your husband, but it's towards the world. You sound like a scorned lover towards the world. You know what? I used to get offended by that back in the day, but now it's true. It's true. And my sentiments have not really changed since then. I remember I used to go to this after school program called Oasis, ironically. Is it really ironic? But it was for, teenagers who had, been in trouble with authority and been in trouble with, the law as a teenager. And, a part of our probation, we had to go to this after school program every every day after school. I think initially, I wasn't trying to bond with the other students, the other kids, the other teenagers my age. I wasn't really trying to bond with them. I was very angry and just very mad. And I was rightfully probably mad and pissed off, even though people, especially then, were trying to act like it was, I don't understand why you're mad. I don't understand why you're mad, Kimiko. You need to smile, and you don't have no reason to be mad, okay? Now, my mother wasn't doing that to me, of course. She was always my, who I could run to, who I could actually get love from the most. And it's always been that way. So I remember one time at that after school program called Oasis, I just started to realize that because the other teenagers started to gang up on me too. So I was like, not instantly, but like I started to go in this room and just watch TV. I would turn off the light and I would just watch TV. And I remember one time the one of the coordinators of the program, who was very nice. He was always nice. He started off being nice. I instantly liked him, okay? And I liked everybody. I liked all the adults who handled the program, the actual program, especially him. And he came in and he checked on me. He was like, Kimiko, he said something like, Kimiko, you don't want to come out there and join the rest of you don't want to join the rest of the crew, whatever you want to call them. And I was like, no, I just want to stay in here. And he was like, well, no, come on. He was kind of, he was just being nice. He was a very nice person. And he would always have a smile on his face. And that's somebody that I would actually call a good Christian. If you want to call somebody a good Christian, I would say that he was the coordinator, one of the coordinators of the program called Oasis. But I was saying no. And then he said, why? Or something like that. And he asked why. And I was like, you know what? I hate people. Actually, okay, that's really the word. I said that back then. Do I necessarily actually hate people now? Not really. I really didn't even hate them then either. Actually, I didn't hate people then. I just hated the way they treated me. And I still do. That's what I really, really, really hated, was the way that I was treated. And it still resonates to this day, even more than then, actually. I hate the way people treat me. I don't hate people. I just hate the way they treat me. I don't dislike people. I just dislike their fucking ways, which are fucking horrible for no motherfucking reason. And it's remained the same. And ever since then, that's when I really, 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 at 16 years old, when I used to go to that after school program called Oasis, That's when I really start to ironically start to really, really go in my shell even more and distance myself and become very introverted and shy away from people the most. Okay. And the next year after that, that's when I was lucky that the next year after that, when I started to do that homeschooling, that's when I started to have social anxiety. The year after that. And it must have been because I was always alone and at home all the time. And I would rarely go outside except when I was with my best friend. But and I that's another thing too. I hate social anxiety for teenagers these days who have to go to school. I hate that for them because I know that school is mandatory and I know that they could get what is it called, truancy for skipping school. I hate it for them. The ones, and it's a lot of them now that got social anxiety now, coincidentally. I didn't actually know I had it at 17 years old, but I knew something was like, wow, I'm overly uncomfortable around people now. Well, I'm saying in retrospect, at 17, I started to get very uncomfortable, very nervous, anxious. And you know why? Because most people really ain't shit. They really ain't shit. They're mean for no good reason. And probably not, I mean, I ain't gonna say probably not. They're not nice to just really anybody anymore either. But especially not to me. They loathe fairness. Most people. Especially the average motherfucker that I come into contact with in passing, if I do go past their ass in person, offline, they despise fairness. They're mean, they're angry, they're jealous, they're vindictive, they're shit stirrers. They keep up a bunch of shit, and it doesn't matter if it's in this city, Dallas, which is where I'm located. It don't even matter. It took me years to understand. It's not even about where you go. It's not even about really where you live. It really ain't. There's really no difference with people. Now, if you want to move somewhere because of the location, what the actual city or state or country or continent has to offer, because of its natural resources and the availability or the maybe the affordability of living in those places, then I can understand. But the actual people, they're not going to really change because it's your karma. It's our karma, okay? It's really about how you respond to the environment. And I'm not going to lie, it has become very difficult for me to stay in control around people. That's why I distance myself from people. I rarely go outside anymore. I'm not afraid of people per se. Like, I'm not afraid of, them. I'm not really afraid of them themselves, but the manipulation and setups and games and tactics that they use. Them wanting me to get unglued. And I'm understanding now the real issue is that they're gang stalkers. A lot of them. I hate to have conspiracy theories and stuff, but I'm not the only one saying this. More and more people saying this about people that it's antagonists. They like to antagonize people, especially people who have self-respect, morals, integrity. They keep to themselves. They mind their business. A lot of people hate that type of shit, especially at work. That's why I'm seeing more and more people have been posting videos on YouTube about how people hate when you mind your business at work. They hate that shit. You instantly become a target. You can be nice and cordial. You can speak to them. You can even speak to them and smile and wave at them all you want. You can be as compliant. You can be as calm. You can once again smile. They will find a problem with that. You know why? Because they want to get all up in your business and they want to set you up. And when they cannot fuck your life up, because they're going to try to fuck up your money anyway. They're going to try to fuck up your money anyway. They're going to try to either get you to bully you into joining in on their bullshit at a job, or if you don't go along with if they can't bully you into hanging out with them at the job, then they find a way to bully you out of that job. Either way it go, they're going to try to get you to not be there, especially if they feel like you're a threat physically or intellectually or something like that. They'll try to get you up out of there. If they feel like you can make more money than them, or you're good at the job and then you mind your business and you know how to operate and stuff like that, they get mad about that. If they feel like they can't control you, if it's something about you that they feel like they can't control, they're gonna try to get they're gonna try to get you up out of there either way it go. If it's your karma to not really get along with people like I don't, then it's not gonna really matter. A lot of people would be better off just going into business on their own, getting their making their own way, their own lane, so that, because those are people, they're nothing. They have to be in packs, they have to be in groups. They're cowards, okay, they're narcissists, but a lot of them are actually sociopaths. They've taken it to another level. They click up, they gang up, because they're cowards. They're highly manipulative. They're sneaky. And this is another thing about them. They can do the most unfair thing, but you better stay. You better stay in line. You better not drift not one step. Don't you ever fucking think that you better not step out that fucking lane. Not even step out your lane, because that's not even what it is. You better not step out of a straight path with their asses. Not one, but you better not let just one piece of your goddamn shoe get out of line. You better, because you better walk a fucking fine line with them. But they can be all fucked up. They just as comfortable as can be at them jobs, in certain situations, at school, all types of stuff, college, whatever, public, in public, period. You could go to, I mean, the average person that's targeted like me, because there's a lot of people are becoming targets anyway these days, whether they're chosen or not. Okay, we have to walk a narrow fucking path with these motherfuckers, and it just is what it is at this point. And really, I don't mind. That's probably why they hate me so much, because I don't mind correcting myself. I don't mind having self-awareness. I don't mind taking constructive, which is really criticism. It's not really constructive criticism coming from them. It's actually just criticism. But I take it anyway and use it constructively to my advantage. And they are angry at that. They are livid, because I take what they give me, and I make and I can alchemize it into something beautiful. I can take nothing, like I've said in another video, and make it into something. Okay? And they hate it. They're in two minds right now. If I disrespect her, if I say something insulting to her, number one, she's going to put me in check. They're talking about me, for instance. I mean, in particular. Um but she's gonna also use Kimiko is gonna also use it to her advantage, to build her own self up even higher than she already is. So in their mind, I really want to insult her. I really want to gaslight her. But if I do it, she's just gonna keep improving. And they're right. They're gonna lose either way it go. Okay? Because if you say something sneaky to me and slick, I'm going to come right back with the passive aggressiveness. If you directly insult me, well, then again, not then again, I'm going to come right back at you and match energy. Okay? Either way it go, I'm going to win. I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to hold my own. Okay? And I've always been that way. And another thing that they're very, very mad about, with me in particular, I don't use physical violence. I don't have to use physical violence. I don't have to get loud. I don't even have to cuss them out. I don't have to do any of that. I could just tell them just how just about themselves, the way they tell me. I can match energy. I don't have to put not one finger on them. And guess what? Now they want to hurt me, but they know if they put their hands on me, Kimiko is not going to back down. No. Do I want to fight? No. Have I ever really wanted to fight? No. But I've never been that punk. I've never been that one that they could really just beat up anyway. Okay? I've always been the one that's going to hold my own. But anyway, back to people who are being targeted and trying to and people trying to bully us in situations like restaurants, the grocery store, just simply walking around wherever we live, just basically just doing whatever they can to be tyrants, provocation, and being antagonistic, unnecessarily, unfairly, and they will actually be the one they and if you notice, a lot of these type of people that get in groups like at jobs and stuff like that, they be very comfortable. You better be in line as a targeted person regardless of who you are, and I'm including myself too, but they can be all comfortable laughing with the other employees and stuff, loud than a motherfucker. They can even cuss. They will do drugs at the job, but let you even at the slightest raise your voice back to their disrespect. You need to tone it down. You need to calm down. Okay? Because we will get the police and we will have you escorted out of here if you don't. And I've had that happen to me at jobs before, actually. I remember one time I was working at this job when I was 17. This was the first so-called job I ever had. And it was the first name started with Royal, mind you. Okay? I'm not going to give the whole name away. But I remember I think it was a misunderstanding maybe between myself and another employee, but I was 17 years old, y'all. I was a minor then with not a fully developed brain at all. Do you know we had a meeting? I had to have a meeting with this other coworker, and the manager or whatever was there, and he was a male. I don't think he really cared for black, unambiguous or black women or whatever. Not the ones that he didn't feel were exotic. And me without makeup on, my skin can get very blotchy, and it can give the appearance that I'm more ethnic looking than what I'm actually supposed to look like. And that's neither here nor there. The point of it though is that me at 17 years old, when the lady started to talk, I turned my chair to the side. Like anybody that's not that has an immature brain at 17 years old would probably do. I didn't cuss at her. I didn't make no comments to her. Only thing I did, I turned my chair slightly to the side. You know what he did? You're fired. Mind you, I was an independent contractor. I was working on commission, and I wasn't even really, I wasn't even making really no money at all. Okay? This is the main one. The manager is the one that even told me in the training, you're an independent contractor, so you work for yourself. You're making money off of commission. You don't have an hourly base salary. Okay, with commission. You just have a commission only job. You're an independent contractor. So how the fuck am I gonna get fired, y'all? How the fuck did I get fired from a job where I was my own boss anyway? So he sits up there, you're fired. And if you don't leave, I'm gonna call the police and have you escorted out of here. Mind you, y'all, this is the ghettoest fucking call center of all time. Okay? People outside of this job, including himself, smoking illegal drugs, selling drugs, okay? But because I stood up for myself, whether I be wrong or not, whether I have made an assumption about this person or not, which I do think it might have just been a misunderstanding with her. But this person, because I turned my chair to the side, to the left, he's telling me that no, you got to go to the left up out of here, or I'm gonna get the police to escort you up out of here. But you know what happened to that motherfucker, y'all? And I'm gonna just use this example in closing. Whether it makes sense or not, I hope this motherfucker hear it. He is the one that shortly after that, probably a month later, his ass got fired from his actual job as a manager, and he could never come back. Guess who was allowed to come back? Me. Okay. And I'm going to end this video with right there, y'all. And by the way, this is a message to anybody. Karma, it might be delayed, it might be immediate, it might be instantly, it might be delayed, it might take years, but finally them people finally get their shit back. And you do not have to bow down to nobody, and don't back down to disrespect. Don't. Okay? If somebody is doing you wrong, don't back down. If somebody's trying to bully you at work into being inclusive with their disrespectful selves that who are not on point at all, you don't have to join them. You don't have to be their friend at work. You don't. Wherever you go, you ain't got to kiss nobody's ass. As far as doing the right thing, absolutely, comply with the job as far as what they ask of you, or wherever you got to go. Follow the rules. Okay? Like Malcolm X said years ago in the 60s, follow the rules and do what is told of you. Not don't be passive, but definitely be assertive with people. Don't be passive aggressive either. That's what cowards do. Cowards passive aggressive, sneak shade. Now I'm a sneak this. I'll sneak this somebody back. Okay, but I'm not. That's just not really my personality. I'm more so of a direct person naturally, as a Libra and the air sign that I am. Anyway, I'm not really passive aggressive. This is something that I've learned over the years to be able to do, and I've become very good at it. But of course, I only use it towards those who sneak this and shade me and get passive aggressive with me. That's the only time I do that. But naturally, I'm a very direct, assertive person. But don't think I'm beneath matching energy. If that's the case, okay. The message that I'm trying to convey actually is that follow the rules, be respectful, do as you're told, okay. Comply, but don't let nobody push you over. Don't let nobody push you around, especially if they're over there doing the most despicable thing. They want you to be docile, okay? They want to bully you, they want to misuse you, okay? But there's going to come a day when those people that who have slandered you, lied on you, cheated you, took you for took you for granted, disrespected you, humiliated you. All those people are going to be reprimanded soon. They're going to all finally. They might have been getting away. They might have got away with it for years. They might have got the immediate effect. But they could get a latent effect, which is later on down the line. And baby, usually them latent effects, those be the worst parts of karma that a person could ever get when they finally get, because it gets tumbling down on all of them at once. And they're not going to be able to deal with it. The stuff that they force you to deal with, they're going to have to deal with that. And they're going to have to deal with that 10 million times over. Okay? Don't feel sorry for them, though. That's the key. Don't. Let them get their karma. They didn't feel sorry for you. The people like us who have been done wrong, mistreated, set up, setback, sabotaged, detoured unfairly, lied on and stuff like that, and abused for no reason. And then we were the very main ones who would damn near give our shirt for off of our back for people. Love to get along. I love to get along with people. I'm a Libra. That's just who I am. I'm peaceful by nature. I don't want to be a violent person. I'm a part of a world peace organization called the Soka Gakkai International, which is a Japanese term that actually translates to the Value Creation Society, which is a Japanese Buddhist lay organization based out of Japan itself, the country itself. Okay. So I was raised around treating people with respect, creating value in this world, not taking more than my share, being peaceful, being harmonious with different groups of people, regardless of who they are, just seeing them for their character and not their skin tone or hair texture or however they look. Okay. That's probably mainly why I can't seem to understand, why would you mistreat somebody just because of how they look? Because they're a different shade? Because they're a different color? Because they're this way, that way, they don't have this amount of money, so-called this and that. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. It's ignorant. It's disgusting. And I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You doing people dirty, you will be reprimanded. The people you've been treating bad, even if it's been a long time and you've been getting away with it, finally you're going to get the judgment day on your ass, okay? You're going to be reprimanded. If you're doing people dirty and just throwing your weight around for no motherfucking reason, you're going to be reprimanded. Karma is real, okay? There is a divine law, a order, a universal law, a universal order of karma, cause, and effect, and you will be reprimanded. And guess what? The people you've been doing dirty the most, they finally get to be liberated. They get to have their freedom, and lastly, but not least, vindicated. Okay? So with that said, with this video, if you like this video, please hit like if you like it. comment, subscribe, share my video, hit the notification bell if you like. And I hope you all of my lotus flowers and my upcoming lotus flowers, welcome to my channel and welcome back. And I will see y'all in another video, my lotus flowers and my upcoming lotus flowers. Welcome to my channel. And I hope you have an amazing day. And I will too. And I will see you in another video. Peace. I'm out. Bye-bye.